Hi there. Today we're diving into one of the most underrated skills for the CAEL English test, note-taking during the listening section. If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to listen, understand, and write at the same time, this video is for you. By the end, you'll have a simple, reliable system to capture the right information without missing key details. The CAEL listening test is designed to mimic real academic situations. So you'll hear lectures, discussions, and instructions, just like in a university classroom. But here's the catch. You only hear the audio once. And that means your notes become your memory. Good notes lead to confident answers, whereas poor notes lead to guessing. And I know CAEL gives you lecture notes when it's time to speak about the listening, but you need your own notes to answer the questions before you get to the speaking portion of the response. And that's why learning to take fast, organized notes is one of the most powerful ways to boost your score. CAEL rewards your notes that capture main ideas, supporting reasons, examples, cause and effect, relationships, comparisons, and the speaker's attitude. And these categories match the question types you'll see right after the audio. So, first step, use the title to predict content. So before the audio begins, CAEL gives you a title and sometimes a short description. You need to use this to activate your background knowledge. For example, if you have a title that says How Regional Accents Develop and Why They Persist, from this you might predict that there'll be something about the history of accents, the geography and isolation, identity and culture, maybe migration patterns, maybe something about media influence, and maybe there would be something about pronunciation differences. That's just, basic ideas from your general knowledge. For vocabulary, you might predict that there would be words like settlement patterns, urbanization, migration, pronunciation, or regional variation. The prediction stage warms up your brain and helps you recognize the terms that little bit faster. The next thing you need to do for step 2 is to set up your page where you're going to take those notes. So a nice clean layout makes your notes easier to scan when you're answering the question. And this structure helps you separate the big picture from the supporting information. So there you've got your main idea, and then you've got your details on the other side of the line. The next thing is you need to use shorthand. You don't have time to write full sentences. So create your own shortcuts and practice them before test day. These are some pretty basic abbreviations that we use: the ampersand sign for and, an arrow for leads to, for increase for decrease, X for example, W for with, BC for because, an equal sign with a slash through it, it could be different, ID for identity, and then there's a few others. You need to develop that shorthand that works for you and get used to using it before test day. Your goal is to be able to take notes that are fast and clear. For step 4, you want to listen for signpost words and train yourself to recognize them. Academic speakers love signposts, and they are your best friend. So when you hear a signpost, that's when your pen starts moving. If you don't hear a signpost, your pen doesn't move. For step 5, prioritize. You can't write everything. Just accept that. So this is where many students struggle. You have to choose what to write. And you're writing down your main ideas, your reasons, examples, your numbers, names, cause and effect relationships, comparisons, attitude words like concerned and optimistic. But you're not writing full sentences. You're not writing jokes. You're not writing side comments. You're not writing anything that's repeated. And you only need one example. So once you've captured an example, that's it. Don't capture any more. And you don't need to capture those grammar words, so your articles with the, is, are, okay? And if you miss something, don't chase it. Move on. For step 6, leave a space between your sections. Lectures are organized into chunks, and leaving a space helps you visually separate ideas and makes your notes easier to scan during the questions. Okay, so now we're ready for the listening, following along as I make these notes while listening to the lecture. Today we're going to explore how regional accents develop in Canada and why they continue to exist, even in an age of mass communication. Many people assume that television, the internet, and national education systems should make everyone sound the same. But linguistic research shows the opposite. Regional accents remain strong, and in some cases, they're becoming even more distinct. Let's begin with the historical foundations. Canada's earliest English-speaking communities were shaped by waves of settlement from different parts of the British Isles and the United States. For example, the Maritimes received large numbers of Scottish and Irish settlers, while Ontario was heavily influenced by loyalists from the northeastern United States. These early settlement patterns created the base accents that still influence speech today. Now, you might wonder, if these accents started hundreds of years ago, why haven't they blended into one uniform Canadian accent? One major reason is geographical separation. Canada is vast, and until the 20th century, travel between regions was slow and difficult. Communities developed their own speech habits, and these habits were passed down through generations. Another factor is social identity. Some people use language to signal belonging. In Newfoundland, for instance, many residents take pride in their distinctive vocabulary and rhythm. Even younger speakers who consume global media daily often maintain features of the local accent because it represents cultural heritage. Okay, so to recap, predicting content, using a clean layout, embracing shorthand, listening for signposts, focusing on main ideas and relationships, and leaving spaces between sections are all the things that you need to do in order to be able to capture the information that CAEL actually tests. If you need some help preparing for your CAEL test, do give me a call at 613-614-6460. If you're about to take your test, best of luck. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.